Alright guys, we're gonna do something that I normally don't do, but I feel like that's the era that we in, right? Just doing wild and crazy stuff. Let's get to it!
It's more than statements, it's a way of life. Celebration. The Miss Jackson talking.
Alright guys, so a couple of days ago that song Vulgar came out with Sam Smith and Madonna. Y'all, I love this community, right? I love y'all who've been on the journey because y'all been keeping it real up in the comments. Maybe I threw up 10s immaturely, like, oh, okay, this is cool. Madonna referencing In the Groove and Vogue. But y'all like, nah, this trash is garbage. I'm like, dang. But again, I love this community because we can keep it real with each other, right? So that's what I want to do right now with this album review. Okay, let's get to it. All right, so before we even get into the album, let's get into these videos. Now, I am going to go back and, of course, watch the interviews of this era and see anything or hear anything that's relevant. But I think right now, because, again, y'all, I had a baby during this whole era right here. This era has been extraordinarily long, right? And so I'm ready to kind of not necessarily get over the era, but at least talk about the album. But again, before we get into the album, I'm going to talk about the visuals, the videos. And for those of you guys who are new to my Madonna journey, one thing I've always done is listen to the music first because I wanted to know Madonna, the artist, and not necessarily like the visual artist, right? I didn't want the visual to take away from, what was Madonna giving vocally, you know what I'm saying, on these tracks, and what was she doing with that pen game? Those are the things I want to focus on originally, right? Then, of course, we get into the visuals, which we can't escape. So, for this Erotica era, let's kick it off. Fever. This video, I would say probably like my least favorite Madonna video ever up until this point. Not really giving much. Like, I would rather watch Crazy For You. What else? A little montage video of a movie. Who's That Girl, right? I would rather watch those videos than this. This video just wasn't giving. Like, it's giving like a little cheap quality. Didn't really match the song in my opinion. It's a little dry. That's all I got for Fever. All right, number 4, Deeper and Deeper. So a lot of y'all probably be like, what? But I don't know, like on first sight, and I've only seen this video once when I reacted to it. It was like, it's not giving like Madonna, right? I was feeling kind of underwhelmed in a sense. A lot of you all mentioned in the comments that it was like a homage to Andy Warhol and that whole Andy Warhol scene, I guess, of the 70s. Don't really know much about that, so I couldn't really pick up on those references. But again, I really wasn't thrilled with the video. Another video that had a creepy older guy, right, exploiting like this younger girl. Some of y'all say it's Madonna's daddy era. I don't know, but wasn't really feeling it. All right. Next, Rain. Okay, so Rain. Again, I feel like this era is just interesting. We're going to talk about this more because, again, another video. Now, visually, this was like just great, right? It was really sleek, really clean in appearance. Yeah, I mean, it was everything I feel like a 90s, early 90s video had. I actually feel like this was the first time, like, okay, we got Madonna in the 90s. But, I don't know, like, it didn't feel like Madonna when I was watching this video, right? It didn't give me Madonna at all. And I'm kind of like, yeah, who is this 90s lady? You know what I mean? Like, even, I don't know if it was a shortcut or a wig, whatever. It was kind of like, again, visually very pretty, but I don't know. I wouldn't put that video as my favorite Madonna video either. Like, it wasn't giving me Madonna. Erotica. Okay, so this was like the video that got this era started. I'm kind of like, how did we get here? How did we get to this point in her career? Now this was giving me Madonna, right? But again, a little kind of, I guess the warmth of Madonna was gone from this era, right? We would typically get a little warmth from her from certain videos, a little vulnerability from her. I didn't get that from a lot of these videos in this era, but Erotica again, brilliantly shot. I feel like with that whole kind of, I think what you guys call it, not snuff films, but some kind of little, like basically films, you know, people would watch, you know, those X-rated films. And like how they cut it, it was pretty cool. A lot of it came from the book itself, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that'll be my second. Favorite video, Bad Girl. Now this is a video that I would put up against any of Madonna's prior videos. Nice story arc. Madonna's like acting her butt off, and I'm like, whoa, like I thought, again, so this is what I think about Madonna right now. Vocally, the song that she should have won a Grammy on, the song that like, whoa, Madonna acted her butt off on, I was convinced, I believed every word. Papa Don't Preach, okay? As a video, like her just performing like actions, it's gonna be Bad Girl. Like if they had an Oscar for the videos, it would be Bad Girl. I think she did such a fabulous job. Again, she's giving me Faye Dunaway tease too. And if y'all have been on the journey with me, I've always kind of seen this, not necessarily similarity between Madonna and Faye Dunaway, but maybe Madonna and Faye Dunaway as Joan Crawford. Like, and that's how I kind of see this kind of resemblance. And not saying that Madonna give me Mama Dearest vibes, but a lot of that kind of determination, strength that was portrayed of qualities of Joan Crawford, right? I'm picking up in Madonna along the way. And again, like this whole video shot like an old movie. And again, just still shook. Like like I was just shook, like just brilliantly shot. So Bad Girl definitely wins this era's videos for me. Now let's get to this album. This is what y'all want to talk about. All right, so Erotica. This is what I feel like. I feel like Madonna was coming off of like an all-time like ultimate high, right? Like she did get arrested on stage. She had the Pope like basically excommunicate her, right? Like she just could do anything at this moment in this like controversy. She's selling, right? She's selling video copies of Justify My Love, haunting, right? It's like everybody's just going crazy. The blood and fishes. She got her ponytails, right? She's on Arsenio just cussing and just saying what she wanted to say, right? So with that being said, I feel like a lot of this project was ego driven, right? And I feel like it was one of those things where everybody around Madonna was pumping her up. Again, we seen the entourage, just a glimpse of it in Truth or Dare, but you know it was like realer than that, right? So these folks would just pump her head up like, yeah, you can do it, you rock, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I feel like Madonna was just like feeling herself a lot. Now, with that being said, so this era, now I do recognize like the importance of like the AIDS epidemic and Madonna, like basically kind of giving like a FU to the establishment and going there, talking about things that, you know, no artist was talking about. I get that, it's appreciative. But we're here to talk about like the overall music of it all, the sound of it all, right? Not the intentions of it all, right? And again, so how I look at this era is like, okay, like I would say the Madonna 83 and like a version, right? This is where we find like Madonna freshman, right? She's that freshman girl trying to get all the attention, right? She's like, I'm not the others. I do anything. I'm on fire, right? She's just hot up in that thing, right? And she begging to be looked at, right? So boom, she get our attention. I feel like, she kind of chill out a little bit, right? But she still, you know, want to be seen when we get to like that True Blue era, right? I feel like within that True Blue era, we get her, she's growing and, you know, I feel like her junior year, she gets to like a prayer, right? Like, and she's doing all that Broadway stuff, right? Before like a prayer. And like she's want to be taken seriously at this point, right? So again, she's chilled out even more as a junior, right? But then she come back like with this makeover, like she become that girl, like she's a IG, like she's a baddie at this moment, right? When she hits with the Immaculate Collection, right? Vogue and Blunt Ambition, like this is senior year, everybody, wow, and everybody loves Madonna. It's like, yeah, this girl's on fire, for real, we believe you. Now everybody want to be in her circle, right? Before they was playing her like, oh girl, go sit down somewhere. Now she is that girl, right? Boom. I feel like Erotica is like that girl went to college and she just started being different. It's like, and by her being different, it's like, some of them folks who was rocking her like, girl, you going too extreme. Other folks trying to stick it out like, yeah, you know, she got her ways. And then, you know, you got other people kind of like, oh, I'm down for the different. I'm down for the different. But a large part of those people who was there, I guess you want to say maybe clout chasing or whatever, like they done moved on at this point. They like, you done went left. Okay? That's what I feel about this erotica era, if that makes sense. So, I personally feel like the sex book was a mistake. And the reason I say that, again, this is taken within context of 2023, me not being there in the 90s to like actually experience and see this moment. But, all right, y'all, sorry. Somebody woke up. Can y'all see her right here? I'm feeding baby Empress. Okay. But anyway, so like I was saying, yeah, I feel like the sex book was a mistake. The reason why I feel like it was a mistake, you know, and again, I can appreciate the artistic value of the book, right? Again, beautifully shot photographs. Some of them just kind of like, kind of a little rough, maybe a little disturbing. But it's one of those things, it's kind of like, who asked for this? You know what I mean? It's like, again, I feel like Madonna was feeling her own height, like, oh yeah, and the thing is, she had did it with Justify My Love, right? Boom, that sold millions of copies of this kind of explicit, you know, so to speak, video. And it's kind of like, oh, we can do it again with the book and it's limited edition. I mean, she, you know, set the mark, right? And she created a record with that. But it ultimately, I feel like, was detrimental to her career. As you guys tell me, Erotica, I don't know if it's the lowest selling album of her career, but up until that time, it was the lowest selling album of her career. And the reason why I think, you know, outside of that, again, I feel like people knew Madonna, you know, as a sexual being, right? And, you know, seeing her sexual or sexual suggestive was one thing, but, you know, just going all the way, it's kind of like again, I personally, I was kind of like, if I was on this journey, I wouldn't want to have seen this book, right? Because I've never thought about Madonna in this way. So it's like, yeah, why? But anyway, besides the book being detrimental, I feel like this album was detrimental simply because, and you can go back and watch any of my reviews, right? What this album lacked that all of the albums had is that safe song. And maybe that safe song was Rain for this album. But again, I don't think Rain kind of transcended generations and genres. Something like a Cherish or a True Blue, you know, like those types of songs, right? She missed that off this album, right? And even like the original Express Yourself, it was pretty safe, right? And she didn't have that safe, like guaranteed, you know, mama might be mad with me, but they're gonna play this song, right? And again, Rain, I feel like was that song of this album, but to my understanding, Rain was like the last single released, so it was possibly released too late by that point. And again, Rain, I feel like is we'll talk about Rain, but I feel like that's what this album was missing. And not only that, again, up until this album, a lot of Madonna's work, again, from a kind of lyrical standpoint, had been pretty much really safe. Now, she would make, things sound more suggestive than what they really were, right? We can argue that's what the whole Like a Virgin song was about, right? It was more so, if you listen to it, it's like, without her singing it, but when she's singing it, I feel like she made it more suggestive than, what it actually was. But then also, we know Madonna as this, what do you call it? Iconography, right? Her iconography is suggestive, right? Now, the song itself might not be suggestive, but her image, she's going to give it to you, right, in a suggestive manner and image-wise. But then sometimes she could, again, flip and play it safe, like on the, Live to Tell, so True Blue, that whole era was pretty safe in image, I feel like. Besides Express Yourself, but not Express Yourself, but the song I never really liked that much when she kissed the little kid. Hey, what's the song called, y'all? True Blue, not True Blue. Hey, I gotta Express Yourself in my mind, y'all. It's not that though. Oh, song I'm thinking of, right? But again, that song is even safe. You know what I mean? It's like, I just felt like that's what this album was missing, that kind of universal safe song. And also, I feel like Madonna suffered from being able to have a 72 hour, was it whatever the CD was at the time. I feel like the Dangerous album, Michael Jackson album, suffered from that too. It's like, it's too many songs, right? Let's just get a good 8, right? Possibly a 10, but 14, I feel like it's too long. But anyway, that's enough of my thoughts about this project. Possibly I can go deeper once I see the videos, because again, I've remarked in a lot of these reactions for this era, I just feel like this wasn't a happy time for Madonna. Typically, there was some warmth shining through in most of her interviews. I'll see if we see that here. But again, I just said it, last era, that whole Blunt Ambition, Immaculate Collection era, Madonna was cocky as ever. So, you know what I mean? I guess that's how the pendulum swung. But anyway, let's just get into these album listings. A problem I have with this album is actually remembering the songs, a lot of them. And This Life is one of them, right? I just remember the beat. I said it reminded me of something or something to remember, right? That doom, ding, doom, ding, doom, 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 right? It reminded me of something to remember. I don't remember the words. But I remember in the beat, but again, it sounded like something I already heard before. So for that reason, that song is number 14. I literally, y'all, cannot remember this song at all. Words. How does it sound? Can't remember it. Let's take a little listen real quick. Yeah, this opening not even ringing a bell, all right? I'm not trying to get copyrighted for this video, so we're going to stop it right there, but the opening not ringing a bell. I just don't remember this song. And for that reason, that one probably should have been 14, but I'll keep it at 13, because maybe I threw up 10s for it. I can't even remember. But this era, this album just is not giving me much to remember, I feel like. Why is it so hard? So again, I felt like this also could possibly have been that song on the album that kind of, maybe appealed to all people, but maybe leaned a little bit more on the hip hop reggae side than pop side. So it was not going to do that. And I called it a Goodwill song, Why is it so damn hard? It had remnants of the 80s left over in it. Okay, but am I adding it to the playlist? Nah, I'm not like, oh, I gotta listen to why it's so hard. Nah. All right, next. Did You Do It? Okay, so this is the song that was kind of like the remix, quote unquote, for Waiting, where like Madonna not even really on the track. Guys just rapping, right? Did you do it? No. Did you do it? Or whatever, right? I think I'm confusing that with that song. And what is it by? I think a track called Quest. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. But I think that song better. But anyway,
Did you do it? I said I did it.
yeah, Did You Do It? Again, not added to the playlist. Probably was cool for its time, right? For little hip hop heads or maybe kids who hadn't been really exposed to rap yet, but exposed to this album. Not sure, but again, could have been left off the album, in my opinion. Right? Bye Bye Baby. Okay, how does this song go? Bye bye baby, bye bye. No, I know that's not how it go, alright? Bye bye baby, bye bye. Y'all, this is terrible. Like, again, it's like, I remember this song had a lot of attitude and sass, alright? Some of y'all says it's about Warren. I feel like this song was a little childish in a sense. But it was funny at the end of the day too. But again, it's just something I'm gonna listen to. Some of y'all mentioned that by the time the album was released, this song in particular sounded a little dated. Next. Real Life Begins. Okay, so this song, again, like now I remember, it's about the female anatomy and very clever in lyrics. But I listen, y'all, I can't remember how it goes. And maybe that's the problem with this album. Right now, enough catchy hooks, not necessarily melodic enough. Next. Fever, okay. And the only reason I know this song is because I know it's an old standard, right? Fever. Again, didn't appreciate the album version that much. Would much prefer to listen to the video version. Still wondering like why this song. Somebody said Madonna was singing in the studio, and I was like, okay, let's cut it. But it's like Madonna doing covers. Like I just don't understand it. Like why is Madonna doing a cover right now? Like the only cover I believe she had done up until this point was what, Santa Baby, and that was like a Christmas song, right? Not feeling it, man. I feel like if anything, I don't know. Like next. Ooh, again, another song I cannot remember. Like deep of hearts.
You're a deep of hearts, and now you have to pay.
And I was like, this sounded like a kind of, if we want to say formulaic Madonna song, this would be been the song, right? It sounded like something left over from the 80s. Could possibly hear it on like True Blue or something like that. But I just, I can't remember how it go. Right? Next. Alright, number 6, Deeper and Deeper. Okay, now here's a song a lot of y'all is like, what? A lot of y'all probably right now probably like, what? Number 6, Deeper and Deeper. Yeah, so I do remember this song, Deeper and Deeper. Right, with that lower register. I can't keep falling for you. Deeper and deeper. Alright. A song that didn't sound like a Madonna song in my opinion. It's okay, right? Again, not necessarily like, oh, I gotta add deeper to the playlist. But again, not bad for this album. Top 5 now. Top 5 for this album for me. Number 5 would be Secret Garden. I feel like this was one of the coolest songs on the album. Very different, kind of like that 60s kind of like beatnik thing happening, right? Snap, snap. But a little offbeat where it kind of like, could sound very early 90s, right? My secret garden. This didn't necessarily sound like a Madonna song to me either. Like on first listen, I wouldn't necessarily thought this was Madonna. And one thing though, I want to mention this. I said I feel like this era was kind of like too much of a good thing, right? And I can say the same thing about the talking, right? Like I love when Madonna talk on the track, y'all know it. But I feel like this album, it was a little exhaustive, right? It was kind of like, okay, where are the vocals, right? Give me some more of that deeper, deeper. But I can go for Secret Garden because, like I said, it was like just creative, it's different. I liked it. Okay, here's a song we had some singing, but a little talking too, right? Of course, this whole album, and it was Waiting, waiting for you, dum, 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 waiting for you, waiting for you, don't break my heart. Okay, we had the little register, kind of a little catchy chorus. It was very jazzy in its sound, right? R&B as well. I was here for it, but again, one thing I mentioned, the background vocals, right? Madonna needs those background vocals, particularly women of color in the background. I feel like it's gonna make her songs just pop out, right? Donna and Nikki that was on the tracks, but it was kind of turned down a little bit. We should turn them up just a little bit. All right, but Waiting, very good song. Rain. Now, Rain I felt like had kind of like a love-hate relationship with. Whoa, baby Empress, you want to hear me talk about Rain? Very, let me see. I feel like it was a good song, but a lot of you mentioned that. I probably liked it because it was kind of like a breakup in the sound of this album, right? It was getting out of that Shep sound and into something just different, and it sounded fresh when you listen to this album. But I feel like when it's put against any track on the Immaculate Collection, that's even Rescue Me and Justify My Love, this album, it doesn't sound, this song doesn't sound as timeless and classic as those early hits, right? But definitely could have heard it on an 80s album for sure. But don't think it would have been a lead single at all. But ironically though, I feel like if, baby Empress burping y'all. Ironically though, I feel like if Rain was released as the first single off this album, I feel like the album maybe would have had a different trajectory. Just because, again, it was that kind of like familiar Madonna sound, I feel like, already established from like a ballad standpoint. Again, good song, but, I'm saying not necessarily as timeless as her other previous ballads. What y'all think it is? It's Erotica. Okay, now this is the one song off the album I'm gonna still say slaps, right? Drum beat. Damn, we got Madonna, right? It's Dita. Erotica. Romance. We're getting like, again, very suggestive in lyrics. Even this time we get like moaning sound effects, right? Again, and it's coming from, ironically, not Madonna. It's coming from the viewpoint of Dita. And I don't think I mentioned that earlier before, kind of like how this could have been one of Madonna's first concept albums, so to speak. But I feel like maybe Madonna knew like, I'm going a little bit too far. So I need to separate the artist, me, Madonna, my brand from this, and be Dita, right? Like, I feel like Madonna maybe didn't want to own all the responsibility for the backlash that y'all telling me eventually happened. That's what I feel like we're going to see during these interviews. Right? But again, Erotica, the song, it slaps. Definitely got it on the playlist. Definitely a song I've listened to since I've heard the video. All right, so if you don't know what number one is by now, tell them, Empress. Tell them. Well, you're never going to be this type of girl. But Bad Girl, that's number one. For me, it was the song off the album where I really felt Madonna, right? Now, I've always said I feel like Madonna is a very emotive artist, and very vulnerable. And I feel like this was the song where I just heard all of that vulnerability and all of that kind of sensitivity, if you will, right? And Madonna was just really raw in her vocal delivery. And again, I feel like a relatable song to people who get caught up in that kind of baddie lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily something that they want to do, but as she says in the song, I don't want to feel blue. You know what I mean? It's like, oh. But as you guys said as well, this song was probably released a little too late. And also, I felt like, again, Madonna was playing into that image because I'm surprised, like, she had a song on her album called Bad Girl. And I feel like the title was purposeful. You guys sneeze? I feel like the title was purposeful in the sense of, like, you know, oh, like, let's play with these folks, see what they think Bad Girl is. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I think about the Erotica album. What I feel like. Groundbreaking for its time. Yes, perhaps. Definitely set a standard. Yes, perhaps. But music-wise, did it live up to, like, the predecessors? And I think no. I felt like this album fell a little flat when it just came to the musicality of it all. And I don't know if it was Shep and his songs or what, but I just felt like this album was missing something, and it didn't give me. I know y'all say, oh, I mean, I'm not gonna give you Firebox, but again, Firebox ain't not necessarily be dance tunes, right? Live to Tell is a Firebox, you know what I mean? Like a Prayer is a Firebox, you know what I mean? This ain't giving me 8 or better, right? This is not meeting 8 or better Thriller status for me, okay? But let's rank it up. Let's see what it falls on the album charts for me. And y'all might be like, oh, this is controversial. Let's check it out. Okay, y'all. So before I do the ranking, right, this is how it was ranked prior to it, right? 1, Done 83. Number 2, I'm Breathless. Number 3, Like a Virgin. Number 4, Like a Prayer. Number 5, True Blue. Number 6, Who's That Girl? All right, now let's see what the ranking gonna be like now. All right, guys. So now, after adding Erotica to the list, my Madonna favorite albums are switched up a little bit. And these albums are ranked to accord like the Firebox, the songs I added to the playlist, the songs I won't listen to the most. And right now, I still listen to Madonna 83 songs the most, right? I feel like, besides what I Know It, album's fire. Boom. Again, I rate Holiday number 7 for this album. You know what I mean? Fire album. I'm Breathless. Boom. I feel like it's Madonna's most creative album. A lot of y'all probably be like, what? More creative than Like a Prayer? Like a Prayer was personal. More creative than Erotica? Erotica, that story arc is cool, but again, I feel like this was more creative. For the simple fact of Madonna had a 1930s sound, right? We want to talk about playing the character. She's playing the character here, and it worked. I loved it. I like it. Boom. She even got a hit here, right? Off of this album. So, hey, this is all good. Like a Virgin, I still mess with, ooh, you're an angel, right? Shooby-dooby-doo. Hey, shooby-dooby-doo, baby. I'm still messing with, she's a pretender. Yeah, the bitch that got away. The one that got away, he's a pretender. Right? Like a virgin, right? Like a virgin. Again, I mess with some of them tracks. True Blue, I still mess with Papa Don't Preach. Like it's Papa Bonita. Right? We still got Tropical Island Breeze, right? Like a Prayer, only about 2 tracks I messed with off that album. What is it? Like a Prayer, the song with Prince. Am I wasting my time? Oh no, baby. And that's pretty much be it. And albums would Express Yourself, but the non-album version. And then we'll get to Erotica. Y'all just heard my top 3, basically the songs like I added to the playlist for real. And I added waiting to the playlist too. And Who's That Girl? Like literally soundtrack, right? We're not giving it too much, but we gave I'm Breathless too much. But we're not giving Who's That Girl too much. That was kind of a weird era for me too. Really don't mess with Who's That Girl, the song like that. And for real, I don't even remember the other tracks off the album. But hey, that's how it all stacks up right now. Again, still searching for that album that's gonna debunk Madonna 83. I don't think it exists. I don't think it's an album that seamlessly just flows like this. Minus I know it. But I don't think Madonna giving an album like this, like it's just pure, boom, we just riding the whole album. I don't think it exists. But hey, we're on a quest to find it. Alright guys, I know y'all probably got a lot to say and I love it. Let's converse. I just heard a Jay Jackson song. Let's converse. Rock with you. Anyway, let's converse. Drop those comments down below. And I gave Madonna big ups in that video too. I was like, oh, I see a lot of Blunt Ambition, not necessarily inspired, but how Blunt Ambition opened the door for a lot of what was going on in that video. But anyway, drop the comments down below. Let me know you guys' thoughts. I know y'all got a lot of thoughts about this album. Yeah, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you're new to it, this is the Madonna journey I'm doing. I'm listening to her albums from 1983 all the way up until today. So jump on the track. So jump on the bandwagon if you haven't already. I got a Madonna playlist. You can start off again. I started listening to the demos, and I still feel like "Don't You Know" is one of Madonna's most underrated songs that never was released. Right? Oh baby, you make my life better, baby. Underrated, but anyway. Drop the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on Patreon. Y'all send baby Empress some kisses, right? Ain't she so cute? Ain't she so cute? I just love her. Anyway, y'all send her some kisses. She been on the journey in my belly, okay? All right, guys. Hope everybody's out there feeling good, staying safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Say bye, Empress. Bye.